5 of the biggest NBA busts of all time. Subscribe to the channel and comment down below saying I subscribe to enter this month's shoutout giveaway. Number 5. LaRue Morton, Portland Trail Blazers, number 1, 1972. Morton likely had the least productive career of all first overall draft picks. He averaged a measly 5.3 points per game over his 4-year career. He's not higher on this list because the 1972 draft was nothing to write home about. Despite the lack of talent, there were better options than drafting a 208-pound center out of Loyola University. Morton shot an abysmal 41.6% from the floor despite being a 7-footer. He blocked half a shot per game and couldn't even crack the starting lineup. He is a bust in every sense of the word. Number 4. Greg Oden, Portland Trail Blazers, number 1, 2007. Heading into the 2007 draft, there was much debate over who should be selected first, Greg Oden or Kevin Durant. Nobody blamed Portland for going with Oden. Hindsight is 2020. No one is surprised by the type of player Durant has turned into, but Oden was deemed in a once-in-a-generation type talent at the center position, and rightfully so. Scouts had been raving about him since his early days in high school. One knee injury after another resulted in Oden being out of the league. Though he has full intentions of making a comeback next season, his bust status is 100% related to his injuries. In what little court time he saw, he was showing very loud signs of turning into an absolute beast. Since entering the national spotlight, he has yet to be fully healthy. Even in his one season at Ohio State, he had a broken hand. He played through it and dominated everyone left-handed because he was just that good. Although he displayed immense potential, Oden did incite controversy over a nude photograph he took of himself and his love of alcohol. He clearly was bored during years of rehabilitation. Chalk this one up to Portland just being snake-bitten in terms of drafting centers. Number 3. Michael Olowokandi, Los Angeles Clippers, number 1, 1998. Olowokandi was a 7-foot prospect out of the University of Pacific. Drafting him first overall was never a good idea. Even worse, Michael Olowokandi did not begin playing organized basketball until the age of 18. No, that is not a typo. Over 10 uninspiring seasons with the Clippers, Timberwolves, and Celtics, he averaged a mediocre 8.3 points per game. He cracked 45% shooting once in his 10 seasons. The Candyman developed into a solid shot blocker, but as a first overall pick, he was a disaster. Number 2. Darko Milicic, Detroit Pistons, number 2, 2003. For this one, I blame the scouts and general managers. Every 7-foot European prospect gets pegged as the next Dirk Nowitzki, and none of them has come even remotely close to Dirk's status. Milicic never should have been selected this high. Even at the time, it was blasphemous. By now, everyone knows who else was taken along with him in the top 5. Detroit was more in a position to be drafting for need, as it was one of the absolute best teams in the league at the time. Milicic was drafted to be groomed for the future, as he was barely 18 when they selected him. Detroit went to win a title in his rookie season, and even though he played sparingly, maybe if he was drafted into a different position, he would have thrived, but nothing he has shown in his NBA career was given off that impression. Milicic looks inept when he is on the court. Although he has managed to hang around for 10 seasons, he has never even shown glimpses of what made him a number 2 draft pick.
Kevin Love, just 3 points so far tonight. Milicic must have heard what you said about blocking shots.
No, not
6 points per game over his career, when compared to the players selected around him, looks horrible. Number 1. Sam Bowie, Portland Trail Blazers, number 2, 1984. Sorry Portland, maybe you should just stop drafting centers. Bowie missed 2 full seasons at Kentucky after suffering stress fractures in his legs. Whatever, he was 7-1. What could go wrong? Everything.
Fuck you, it's my ball.
Bowie was only able to manage 139 games in 5 years with Portland before salvaging a bit of hope during a solid 4 years with the Nets. Oh yeah, some guy named Michael Jordan was drafted 3rd overall that year, 1 pick after him. Combined with the injuries, that is more than enough to make him the biggest draft bust of all time. Bowie was just one of a collection of Blazers big men who failed to reach their potential. At the time, Portland was fixated on drafting a center, as it was already a great team, having won 48 games the previous season. Bowie was supposed to be the final piece to the puzzle. The roster was already stacked with talent from the likes of Clyde Drexler, Michael Thompson, Kiki Vandeweghe, and Jerome Kersey. Bowie's downfall destroyed title hopes for this squad. The icing on the cake is that Portland lost a coin toss for the first pick in the draft that year. Who went number 1? Hakeem Olajuwon. End of story. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.